Good Morning Wilmington is powered by DART, Delaware's transit service. Moving forward.
Wake up, y'all. Come on, have a great day. Ooh.
Good morning, Wilmington. What's going on? I'm your main man, Big Ive, the talk of the town, Mr. DETV, and I am here with my amazing special guest host. They're not even guests no more. We family.
Family all the way. Radio Shack. Good morning.
Radio Shack. What's up, man?
Good, brother. How's
all right,
everything,
all right. We are here in the studio, man. What's happening with you, man? How's everything?
Yo, listen. So first off, shout out to everybody. You see, I'm still in HBCU week hangover mode because last week was HBCU week. Last week was the Black Restaurant Week. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was insane.
I'm not sure if those official numbers came out, but I know that DTV, we did the live stream at the college fair, had over 10,000 people in the building waiting for that to come out officially. But just to think to have that many young children interested in attending a historically black college university was a super big deal.
Yeah.
Everything else around it. So I just appreciate that opportunity.
Yeah.
And yo, shout out to you. Hey, can I get that real quick, Brandon? So shout out to you once again too, man. Like the whole platform, like everybody that puts me on, I appreciate it. So I brought something for you this morning. You know, we announced that I am the new brand ambassador for Big Brothers Big Sisters of Delaware. So definitely gonna get all my peoples on board, and it's real good to be able to, to really be able to network with some good brothers out here that's doing things in this community.
Love it.
And
Thank
speaking
you.
of doing things in this community,
we
have some great people doing things in the community today.
Who we got, man? Who we got on the plaza? Not even the building, on the plaza, man.
On the plaza. So, you know, we always talk back to how we first met, right? And how many years in the vision. I remember meeting our next guest 20-something years ago when it was just a dream. And here we are.
I think we got 30. We got 30, right?
And here we are celebrating 50 years of hip-hop, but not just that.
Yeah.
We're celebrating 25 years of allhiphop.com.
All day.
So we would like to introduce to the plaza this morning, Mr. Grouchy Greg, founder of HipHop.com.
What's up? What's
and
up, y'all?
My man Iz the Truth from Delaware Art Museum. Welcome, brothers.
And Gorilla Republic.
And
Gotta
Gorilla
give them
Republic.
guys.
Got to, for sure.
That's where I know him from. Gorilla Republic, right? So shout out, brothers. Thanks for coming, man. Appreciate it. It's a blessing and an honor to have both y'all here.
Oh, man, thank you for having us. You know, DETV has always been a big supporter. Big Ive has always held it down. Shaq, you've been my guy for, like you said, many decades. I don't want to age myself. But, you know, we go way back. You know, all three of us do. Known Iz for probably over 20 years as well. So grateful to be amongst a table of great minds.
Oh my gosh, man! And you know what? I just love both of these brothers right here, right? And I could go on. I could have a whole show just about my gratitude to both of them, right? And watching how they took an idea, and made it into just what it is now. You know, super proud of my man Iz. He's down there changing the Delaware Art Museum to what it is now, and you got more people. And matter of fact, forget me talking about it. Iz, won't you talk about what's going on in the Delaware Art Museum?
I mean, I'm here. I'm grateful to be among us, number one, because I know the one thing we all had in common is being the underdog. And being, you know, underestimated in our passion. And the meaning, the fact, what do we mean to our people and what do we mean to our community? And that's, you know, with that being said, that's what we're doing here. We're cultivating the culture around here. We're the farmers of the land, we're the farmers around our inner cities. And we have to do it in a different form, and we do it in the form of arts. That's why the Delaware Art Museum has opened their door, because they understand the fact, you know what, we need to reflect our city. We need to reflect the voices that we hear. We need to reflect all the people too, especially among the culture. That's why we have to. And I'm very grateful that we're taking, you know, a spearhead when it comes to the arts and culture, especially here in the whole state of Delaware. Somebody's got to break that barrier. So we might as well do it together as brothers, and to our sisters out there too as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So speaking of breaking barriers, right? Coming up next Saturday, October the 7th, is the All HipHop Cultural Summit at the Delaware Arts Museum, right? I recall several weeks ago we had the Jet Phoenix Dirty Popcorn Film Festival. There's been a noticeable shift in culture coming to the Delaware Arts Museum. Yo, speaking of breaking barriers, how were you able to make that happen? Because I'm sure it wasn't an easy fight when you first went in and said, I want to start doing these events that talk to my people. I'm sure you was met with some resistance. So just talk about the journey to get from there to here today.
I mean, one time, you know, as a people, as a us, we have to be a pebble in people's shoes, you know? And it doesn't matter how small you are. Sometimes you have to agitate those so they can understand what's really affecting. I'm here like Brother Ivan, you know, one thing that you put out there a long time ago is love. And meaning the fact, how do we include our community? How do we show our people that we love them actually? You know, and that's when you have to be willing to sacrifice what you can. You know, and I've been there at the institution now, at the Delaware Art Museum for about 20 years now, but starting from the bottom, you know, the very bottom, as a porter and as a person that, you know, I continue to see my vision, but at the same time, realizing that, you know what, maybe if I can't change the institution, maybe I could change around it. So I started, you know, organizing among the city, specifically because there's no way you can stop passion. We know, like, this is why even hip-hop here is around, because when hip-hop started, nobody believed in us. Everybody told us we were a fad. Everybody told, and realizing that we came from the poorest district in the whole entire United States, the Bronx. If people need to look that up, you talk about people who have passion. And you know what? And sometimes you have to go through that to understand what it is, that what you need to do so you can feed others. So that's why, you know, when we bringing these things to life, it's not about just art. It's about making sure we bring the legacy to our people, the existence, that they matter. I want to make sure that, you know what, when they read about us 50 years from now, and it's not just about us, but great contributors like Grouchy Greg, like himself, we all know he changed the world when he brought hip-hop to the internet. Changed it. Look how people look at it now. Something that even hit me when I first met him, he impacted me. I was just like, you know what, I need to organize like that brother, but that brother made an impact on the internet where other people can view it, where, you know, they don't have access to come here to the city. So I wanted to make sure, you know, and I'm very grateful as a mentor that he's been, meaning the fact as a leader, the examples that he's led, but at the same time, the amount of love that he's given to people to grow, because it's about that. It's about bringing economics to our people where, like I said, sometimes people forget about the fact that we have to do this together. It ain't about just you. It affects us, all of us. And when we start understanding that, you know, me as an indigenous brother, that is the law for us. Family first, and our family is our community.
Nice. Beautiful, man.
Hard to follow that.
Grouchy. Right. And, you know, Grouchy, 25 years, man. And I remember when you first came out, and I know it was talking to you and Chuck offline, and just listening to some of the stories that you guys were going to New York back and forth, when no one believed in it, but y'all did. Like, can you tell the people, like when you first started all hip hop, right? What that passion is about, because what we like to use this platform, man, is to motivate and encourage others, you know. And tell us what that passion was like back then and where it is now with all hip hop.
Yeah, well, I mean, the passion. First of all, the passion is still there. You know, when you really love something, you know, it's natural. You know, that's why for all the young people out there, you know, we always tell you to pursue your passion, because it's not a job for you. This isn't a job for Chuck and I, you know. This is what we enjoy doing. And so, you know, I mean, starting it early on, it was very difficult because, you know, as Brother Iz said, hip hop was not really on the internet in the form that we brought it.
Right.
And, you know, it was difficult to get, you know, artists and people in the music business to really understand and open up to the internet, because, believe it or not, magazines were still popular at the time.
Yeah.
Not to mention, you know, this was all being funded out of our pockets. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there were many nights of digging in couch cushions for quarters to get money to go get a $1 hamburger from McDonald's.
In New York?
No, in Delaware.
Oh, in Delaware,
yeah,
okay.
Because I never left Delaware. You know, I've always lived here.
Right.
And my hustle was that Greyhound station right there. You know, everybody at the Greyhound station knew me and knows me, you know, from taking the bus back and forth. The Amtrak people all knew me. You know, that's where I met Joe Biden, going back and forth on the train. We would see each other all the time in the morning.
Right.
You know, and I mean, it was a real grind. I mean, there were plenty of times where, you know, I was in New York City with nothing to eat, you know, and just waiting to come home so I could eat something. You know what I mean? And then eventually, you know, people caught up to the internet, and we had our breakthroughs, and where here we are on 25 years later.
Congratulations, man. That's huge, man.
Yeah, and still getting nominated. I mean,
I
all
saw,
due respect,
man.
nominated for best, hip hop platform by BET.
Yeah.
So for that to happen 25 years later is a testament to the passion that both my partner Chuck Jigsaw have for this, but also the employees and the people that we work with, because it's definitely a team effort.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so what brings us here today is that we're always going to celebrate the 25 years, but you got something going on at the Delaware Art that is going to change, again, the perception and change Delaware, and that's October 7th. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, man. I mean, I linked up with Brother Iz. I had an idea to do an event at the Delaware Art Museum to celebrate hip-hop culture, but not just nationally, also locally. So, this event delves into the 5 elements of hip-hop, breakdancing, graffiti, rapping, turntablism, and then knowledge, which is the 5th element. And we've curated an event that centers around all 5 of those things all day at the Art Museum. So we've got some incredible guests coming that I'm sure we'll get into in a minute. But, I really want to make sure the local community understands that this is a celebration of hip hop on a national level, but the focus really at the Art Museum is going to be on the contributions the local artists have going back to, say, 75 in Delaware, all the way, and we've stopped it at like 95.
Okay.
Because this is going to be an ongoing event.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you.
So,
is it going to be?
Yeah, and each year we're going to celebrate a different decade, but we had to start with the pioneers in hip hop and the pioneers in Delaware hip hop.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, when people get inside the Art Museum and see some of the stuff that we've unearthed and surfaced, I think the local community is going to be proud.
Yeah.
And, quite frankly, because there's not really an organization here in Delaware that surfaces the history of what happened in Delaware in the 70s and 80s regarding hip-hop culture, a lot of people don't even know some of this stuff.
Right.
So it's going to be dope.
I remember back in the day, Shaq, one of the biggest, and I'm going to ask everyone this question, right? One of the biggest moments of hip-hop that I remember was Grand G.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He'll be there. Well, he's going to be Skyping in.
Yeah. So my question to you, to all of you, when did you fall in love with hip-hop?
I think for me, when I came to the States, coming from Peru, my family, we were the first Peruvian family up in Flatbush Church Ave in Brooklyn, New York. And we didn't really have a way of, creating funds because of our status. So me and my brothers would breakdance on Church Ave, back in the days. And it was just part of our culture. It was just part of the way we moved. But it was intriguing. But we fell in love with it because we were living it. So wherever we looked on the subways going to school to Coney Island, it mattered, but I didn't realize that the rest of the world was paying attention in that form. I just felt that was life, but you had to earn your right, to be on the mic. You had to earn your right to represent for the culture. So it was a lot different back then because, back then you had to prove yourself. Now, we got the internet that opens up avenues for many people to be heard, but there were trials back then.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important that, the story that we're telling at the Delaware Art Museum for this HipHop Summit, we want our youth and our people out there to understand the beginning and the reason and the purpose of why hip-hop culture was created, because it was meant to voice our community. It was meant to voice what the issues were going on in our neighborhoods, especially facing police brutality issues, facing poverty issues, facing conditions that, we had to go through. And the mission with this, I'm just going to be honest, apart from this, I want people to recognize something that hip-hop culture is more than just a culture. It is a lifestyle, it is a living, and it's breathing. And I want our school institutions to open up their doors with the curriculum, because I want them to understand that, after 50 years, and we contribute $33 billion a year in hip-hop culture alone around the world, it's time for there to be school scholarships for young producers, for young breakers, for young MCs. Think about it, if our School of Arts here in the Delaware started opening the doors, how many of us would start eating, especially among our community, especially among black and brown, something that, naturally has come to us, but yet continue to exist and grow among other cultures too as well, because this is all of us. That's the whole point of hip hop. Hip, you know, is to be the knowledge, and the hop is the movement. So let's continue to educate our youth, our future, because we're gonna be here more longer than 50 years.
Right, right.
Yeah, man, I know the exact moment for me.
What was that?
You know, I was in 5th grade, and I had always been cognizant of music. You know, my parents had records around, Sam Cooke, The Drifters, you know, MTV was just getting popping. I don't even think MTV at this point was even on 24 hours a day yet. You know, it was on for a limited amount of time. So, you know, the only exposure we really had to, you know, I guess urban music would be Power 99, you know what I mean? BJ in the Morning. I'm going way back.
You're going way back, man.
Right. And so, you know, one day I live in an area down in Newark called Brookside, and my development, I could go over a bridge and be in Kimberton, what we call K-Town.
K-Town,
You know, little Section 8 area back there, and I rode my bike in, and I saw a circle. And I was like, man, what's going on in there? You know, I busted my way in through the circle, and it was breakdancing. And that was it.
That was it.
That was it. The clothes, the fashion, the way everything looked. I mean, it's still one of those memories that's seared into my brain, you know what I mean? And from there, it was on and popping, no pun intended. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I was all in with breakdancing. I was breaking. You know, I went to my first Run DMC concert at Dickinson High School when I was in 5th grade. You know what I mean? That was probably, I don't even want to say the year, but I'll say it was probably like 85. You know what I mean?
Because they was popping then.
And, you know, I was there at that event. It's a legendary event in the annals of Delaware history, hip-hop history, you know what I mean? But, you know, from there, it was just on. You know, it was hip-hop all from that point forward. You know, even right down to understanding that this was going to be the career path that I was going to take, because I always knew, even, you know, before I even started rapping, that I wanted to do something in the music business, just from reading the labels of my parents' records and getting an understanding of, you know, who these artists were and who owned what record label and all that stuff. And so by the time I was in high school, I was already putting out records on my own little record label. We had a nice little buzz in the state. You know what I mean? And then by the time I got out of high school, our records were being reviewed in Billboard, and, you know, we were getting forward momentum, and then, you know, the internet hit, and that was it.
Dope.
Yeah.
So for me, and you speak about giving age, I'll give my age,
All right.
I was born in 75 on Cedar Avenue in the Bronx, New York. For those that know, talking about hip-hop history, Kool Herc started all of this in 73 on Cedric, is right there, right? So for me, hip-hop was already being infused into my DNA before I even realized it, right? From the first time I ever saw Slick Rick, it was in a pizza shop, and he had on a full mink with a nameplate, and I'm like, yo, who's this dude? I didn't even know about rap, you know, that he was rapping at the time. To the next time I see him on Fordham in the cherry red Benz, and I'm like, wow, that's Slick Rick, right? So I was seeing it and not understanding it. But what made me fall in love with it, right? And I'll make reference to Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Delaware, plug, because I was one of those stereotypes. I was growing up, single parent, just my mom's raising me in the Bronx during the crack era. So like a lot of other people, I was looking for role models and mentors in people that I'm seeing on TV, and rappers became that. And for me, Heavy D. When I saw a big Jamaican light-skinned dude that could get up, dance, rap, have confidence and all that, it made me feel different. Like, yo, if he could do it, I could do it. And the thing was, before the internet and everything, we weren't seeing reflections of us on TV. So for me to see that in a rapper, it really made me fall in love with it. And even I've carried that flag forever. So I am honored to host this event coming up next Saturday, allhiphop.com's Cultural Summit. Like, it's just gonna be a celebration of the culture, the 50 years that we've been here, the 25 years that you've been here, and where we're all going in the future. So salute to y'all for that, man. I mean that.
Let's talk about these guests who you got on the lineup before we get out of here. They give me the airplane sign.
All right. We got Grandmaster Caz,
nice,
who is one of the founders of the Cold Crush Brothers.
Yeah, man.
He's also known for writing part of Rapper's Delight. You know, Big Bang Hank used his lyrics. We've got Sha-Rock, pioneering female MC, you know, from the Funky 4+1. We got Grand Wizard Theodore, who is he was tutored by Grandmaster Flash, but he invented scratching. You know what I mean?
You're not
He's
playing
gonna
with
be
this
doing
lineup,
a
man.
Don't forget Joe.
Exhibit. Yeah, we got Joe Conzo, Born in the Bronx. Isn't that what his book is titled?
Yeah, Born in the Bronx, which is on, you know, we have the 3rd edition now at the store, so.
Y'all not playing with this lineup. This is a mean lineup.
We got my partner, Chuck Creekmer. He's going to be moderating the panel.
Yeah.
We got Young Guru. He's going to come through and be on a panel.
Nice.
We got Hezekiah. We got
Crazy
Richard Raw, Abundance Child.
We got the founder of Tomorrow's Gold Records, Troy Husser, who put out Project X. So that's the label that Grand G was on.
Yeah.
And I felt it was important to bring him because, you know, Grand and Fred G and, you know, those guys get the props because they were the artists. But this is the dude who had the vision to put out the label.
Wow.
You know, put it out as a label. So he's going to come and explain the story behind Project X. Grand G is going to be calling in, you know, so he's going to be there. He's got to go do a event for his nonprofit in Houston, but he's going to be there representing. My younger brother, Markitect, on the panel, you know, and, you know, no nepotism there. You know, he legitimately.
He's an artist.
Yeah, but he put out his first record in 1993. You know what I
he was
mean?
making a paper early in the game in Delaware. I remember that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who else?
We got the Hip Hop Fundamentals, a whole breaking squad that's coming through to represent for the culture too. We got Jabbar Brown too, who's going to be displaying the hip hop and comic books and showing the children what to do as well. We also got T. Eric Monroe. If you ever seen or picked up a Vibe magazine or, you know, back then, or Source, pretty much, you know, at the same time, Brother T, he's the brother who gave you those images, and he'll be present too as well with some of those images to show you. And trust me, we want people to understand the bridge, the foundation, the culture, but at the same time to know, you know, what it is, then what it took, you know, to make this come alive. But I do love, you know, if everybody could come through and pay their respects, because this is an amazing opportunity and an amazing moment to meet those that helped start this foundation as well. Joe Conzo will be doing a book signing, you know, for anybody who's out there who's interested. That is a book that you're going to want to have in your collection. Born in the Bronx. It's been sold out twice. Also, keep in mind, he is a 9/11 hero, too, as well. So you'll definitely get to see some history, some culture, but at the same time, give thanks to all hip-hop for 25 years for not giving up.
Salute. Thank you. Love it. Look, guys, thanks again for coming, man. Really appreciate it. I tell you what, this is your camera. You got like 15 seconds.
All right, let me just say one thing. I can't leave out my boys Flex and Hated. They're going to be here. They produced #1 records for Danity Kane, and it would weigh on my conscience if I left them off.
No.
But I would just say October 7th is going to be a full day of hip-hop culture celebration. We got 2 DJs, DJ Soulbuck, DJ Fred Ones. They're going to be providing the music all day. There's food trucks. So it's going to be a day of education, but it's also going to be a party at the Art Museum.
And register. It's free for the people, but I need you to register at allhiphop/50.
Allhiphop.com/50.
Yeah, and it's free for the people, like I said, the summit. So I want people to sit down and be educated. This is going from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. You don't want to miss this. Feel free to check out, like I said, allhiphop.com/50 for the lineup of the day.
I love it. Boy.
Popping.
These guys, man. These
a great way to start it out. This
Community
Wednesday
heroes.
morning,
And you know what I love about Grouchy, man? He didn't make it and just said, y'all on your own. He made it and came back.
Stayed.
You know what I mean? There's been plenty of times when I started DETV, I would call Grouchy. And I'm always going to give you props on this one, fam, because you didn't have to do it. But you did it, man, and you did it aimlessly, and you did it like, we fam. I used to call him, I used to text him, like, yo, I got to, I had some questions, like how to get started in this. And he would like, yo, meet me in Newark, right?
Newark,
and that was his spot. Meet me in Newark at this
Street.
spot on Main Street. And we would sit there and he would just rap and he would just like effortlessly give me, some, one, encouragement, and 2, like how to do it, right? So thank you for that, bro. I really,
doubt.
from the bottom, top of my heart, thank you, because you didn't. But what happened when he did that to me, now I get the chance to do it to somebody else. So that's how it goes full circle.
Down.
Yeah, gonna pause again. All right, I'm gonna pause. Look,
Yeah, just
he had to throw it in there.
pause. No, my fault.
Look, guys, thanks again for coming. Look, we'll be right back. Allison David of the Claymont Community Center is in the building to talk about the event that they have coming up, that she has coming up, and I can't wait to talk to her. You ready?
Ready, let's
All
do
right,
it.
let's take a break. We'll be back in. I want to say 2 and 2, but they might sue me, so we're going to say 3 and 3.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
DETV has been Delaware's premium provider of creative digital and broadcasting solutions that bridges communities and connects people. We create great stories for all audiences. We deliver independent news throughout Delaware. We are digital platform innovators. And we develop marketing and sales solutions so you can stay connected to your audience. Now, why do we do what we do here on DETV? We do it because we care. So, keep watching and follow us on all of our social media platforms. Remember, DETV, online, on air, on time.
Still searching for cheap gas prices? Dump the pump and ride DART. You can DART to your destination for only $4 all day. Let DART do the driving while you enjoy our free Wi-Fi available on all buses statewide. While scrolling through your favorite apps, don't forget to download DART's free transit app for real-time bus information and enjoy the convenience of contactless fare payment through DART Pass. So what are you waiting for? Dump the pump and try transit. Visit dartfirststate.com or call 1-800-652-DART.
Government doesn't make a move without an agenda, some type of plan. The problem is we haven't been on the agenda. Sometimes we're overlooked. Sometimes our interests aren't the interest of those in power. I'm your host, Kerwin Gaines, on DETV's new show, The Agenda. We're going to do our best to ensure that you, Delawareans, are knowledgeable about what's going on in the Assembly. Federal government, local government, it doesn't matter. We're going to do our best to ensure that folks that make the agenda on a daily basis have to answer for it. Let them explain what they're doing. If it affects you, it's on the agenda.
Yo, what's up? What's up, man?
Yo, we back,
We're
man.
back again.
You know what I didn't mention earlier?
What?
That hot theme song that we got for Good Morning Wilmington.
Yeah,
man.
wasn't that crazy?
What's that about?
Yo, so we had an interview with Surface, right? And
The group Surface?
The group.
Okay.
The original, there's only one original person that's in the group, and we zoomed him in, and then the other guy came in, and we just asked him to start singing, so he performed, and then next thing you know, he was like, "Good morning, Wilmington." We was like, "Oh, snap!"
You got that is perfect.
Yo,
man. I need
it's
that.
Oh my God,
I'm about to give that
I'll
to my
send it to
DJ
you.
peoples, mega skills and all that. We need to play that in the parties.
Yes, yes. So, that's it, man.
So what do we got going on now?
CEO Allison David, capeless superhero, is in the building on the plaza. They're here to talk about everything that she and her group and her team is doing in Claymont, from the 5K to the community closet. Allison, welcome.
Thank you.
This is not your first time.
It's not. You had me on last
Last year, yeah. So I mean, we love it.
Thank
And I
you.
did say, you got something going on, let us know. And bam, here we go.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm thrilled to, talk about our 5K, our C3 5K, which is coming up on this Saturday, September 30th. But I think, what's really important is that people get a sense of what the Claymont Center is.
Right.
And the Claymont Center has been an anchor in the community for over 50 years. And in fact, our building was originally the Claymont High School. And it has significance because 2 years before Brown versus the Board of Education, it integrated. So that legacy of integration is so important to the community and guides us in all of the work that we do now.
Yeah.
The Claymont Center is a place for families, youth, seniors, and we want it to be a place that everyone feels welcome,
Right.
that it's warm, that the services and the programs we have are for everyone.
Yeah.
So that really guides us in the work that we do.
Nice. I was always wondering why was a track in the back of there. I didn't know.
Yeah, it was a high
I didn't know it was high
school.
school.
That's great history to have.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and in fact, in 2022, we were recognized as an affiliate of the National Park Service as part of the Brown v. Board Historical Park. So,
And that was by Senator Coons, right?
The
was
legislation was proposed by Senator Coons and Representative Clyburn, and then it passed, and then Biden signed it.
Yeah.
And I was really honored to take one of the original students to the White House for that event.
That is great.
And we were in the Oval Office, and it was
Did
like.
you take anything with you? Any souvenirs? No.
I didn't. You
Tell
know
me
what?
after the camera's
no,
off.
they don't even let you bring your phone in. You know,
imagine
you
not.
can't do
Yeah.
anything. And I had my Apple Watch on
They're like, "Give me
right
that."
before we went in, and they're like, "Is that an Apple Watch?" And I was like, ripped it off, and you know,
They're like,
take
give me
it.
that. Yeah.
Because
You never
I want to
pass up
get
that
in there.
moment. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, it was
So
amazing.
and speaking of amazing and all the amazing things that you're doing at the Claymont Center, let's talk about, because you said it's open for everyone.
Sure,
Let's talk about
sure.
this Saturday in the 5K.
Sure.
And what you guys have going on.
Sure. So Saturday is our 5th annual C3 5K, and the 5K really supports the programs that we run. So we have 4 signature programs. We have our Brandywine Senior Center. We have a learning center that helps people work on their GED. We're also teaching English to learners of English. We have a food closet, and we also have a youth program. And in addition to that, we have 18 partners that operate in our buildings. So we have Head Start, private daycare, we have 5 mental health providers, we have a state service center. So it's this comprehensive place where, again, people can come for lots of different things. You mentioned the track. So we have a track, we have a football field, 2 baseball diamonds, and a dog park, which is a mouthful. But,
It's not a community center.
that's
That's a complex.
That's a community
complex.
it
yes.
is.
That's
It is.
nice.
76 field house.
But that's what communities are, right?
it
And
is.
this one is in the center of the community.
Yeah.
So the 5K is a great way for us to sort of showcase what we do.
Right.
Have fun. I think what we've all known as we come out of the pandemic is that people were really isolated.
Yeah.
People are struggling. And this is an opportunity for the community to come together and just do something fun.
Right.
And do something healthy.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people don't want to walk or they don't want to run, but they'll come out and they'll cheer.
Yeah.
And they'll become part of the community. So that's really what we're about.
Not to mention, if they see other people doing it,
They're going to jump in.
They might get
even.
something
get
in
out
there.
and walk. So.
Yeah. And we have a 5K option, and we also have a 1-mile loop.
Okay.
So if you don't want to do the 3.1 miles,
split
you
it
can
in
do
half.
the one.
Third.
The 1 mile loop.
There you go.
Thirds.
You only have to go twice around the track.
There it is. I can handle that. Yeah.
All right. So we got the programs. You got 18 partners inside. Where can people go for more information on the web or social media?
Sure. So you can go to our website, claymontcenter.org. We are on social as Claymont Community Center. We're on Facebook and Instagram. And really, people just sort of have a sense of this place as really being community-based.
Yeah,
So
they
it's
know-
really
yeah.
great. They kind of know it, but they don't know everything.
Right. I get you. I totally understand that.
And you've
Yeah.
been supporting the community with all of these programs. How does the community, or how do individuals reciprocate that and support you?
That's a great question.
Thank
So
you.
I think one of our priorities over the next 3 years in our strategic plan is to really look at ways to engage the community more.
Right.
We're not talking about programs that do something to people. It's how do you engage people in figuring out the programs that they want, figuring out the activities they want. So we are, being intentional about opening up that dialogue,
Right.
So that they have a real sense of being part of the community. in answer to your question, I think there are, plenty of ways where people are already doing that. They're volunteering. So for our food closet, we have a whole host of volunteers who go and pick up food at area grocery stores that support us, and they bring the food to us. They help us unload. They help us, look at expiration dates and package and distribute. So it's a real community, really community effort. And if I could stay on that for a quick
because I was going to stay on that community.
Yeah.
I was going to stay on the closet.
So we're really excited about our food closet. It is one of the things that the community center has done almost since its beginning, like feeding people.
Yes.
Right? Like that's a basic need that everybody should have. You shouldn't have to make choices. You shouldn't have to, decide like your kids are going to eat, but you're not.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
So we've had this food closet, but we're really excited because of some federal funding and from state funding through the Joint Finance Committee. We are relocating just a half a block down to a small building that we own.
Nice.
But it's going to be an expanded food closet.
That's
we'll be
amazing.
able to work with more families.
Supermarket.
Yeah, and we try to use that choice model, right? That people can come in and choose. They're not just being like, you have to eat this.
Right, right.
Because that doesn't really solve the problem.
Right.
The other exciting thing about the food closet is that we're going to add a community garden.
Love it.
And
Love it.
this will be a real opportunity to engage the community in, growing their own food and figuring out how they want to do that. And my secret dream is to add some bees, because we all know that honeybees are really, really important. They're great pollinators, and they're really great. So we'll have to figure out where to put them.
He's scared of bees.
Yeah. You had me all the way to that, and I just thought.
You said bees. He's like, brother's like,
wait a second. All these great things.
They'll be in another area.
I'm not scared of bees. I love honey. No, I'm playing. Oh my gosh!
God,
right here in the
this
plaza.
place.
So we definitely appreciate you stopping through. Right?
The community closet, real quick before we. How can people? Do they have to sign up, register? Because someone might be saying it's like, yo, I need to know more, like how to be a part of that.
So you can, again, go to our website, claymontcenter.org. You can call our main number, 302-792-2757. Just ask for the food closet. You can just come in.
Do you take donations?
Absolutely.
Okay. Just like monetary donations for the food closet?
We take monetary donations. We take in-kind donations of food.
Okay.
But particularly for someone who needs food.
Yeah.
If you can't call and you're in the area, just come in and we'll help you, because we have emergency food.
I love that. I love that.
Is just available.
Yeah,
because
I love
again,
that.
no one should
be freaking hungry. My dad, I got that from my dad, right? I got it from my daddy. My daddy used to always say, like, don't ask me for money, right? I'm not gonna give you money. But if someone asks me for food, I'm going to feed you. And that's something that I remember as a kid, that like now, if someone says, hey, look, I'm hungry, like, you shouldn't be hungry. You know what I mean? Yes. So, yeah.
And I think that food also is a lot of other things as well, right? Food is medicine, right? If you're feeding your body properly, you're gonna feel better. I think food is bonding, right? We all know,
break bread.
like when we break bread with each other, and those are the things that build community. So, somebody helping and somebody giving, like that's,
One and the
that's
same.
what it's about.
That's what it's about. I agree. Allison, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank
All right,
you.
so this is your camera right here, Allison. Go ahead. You got 20 seconds.
I can do it.
Let's go. Ready?
Make sure you mention the address as well.
I
All
will.
right. 3, 2, 1.
So join us on Saturday, September 30th at the Claymont Community Center, 3301 Green Street, for our 5th annual C3 5K. The 5K supports our programs and our services for youth, families, and seniors, and we want to see you.
She did it.
Address.
She did it. Oh, she forgot
I
the
did
address.
it. 3301 Green Street.
There it is. No, we want to make sure that they know exactly where you're at. You're amazing. I thought you were reading up the teleprompter.
Right, she was going. I was like,
but there is none over there. So thank you so much
Thank
again
you.
for joining
Thank you.
us.
Thank you for having me.
No, anytime.
I'm going to be back.
Okay, I know
again.
you are. I'm
Yes,
fine with that.
yes.
I'm cool. Look, let me tell you something. As long as it's helping the community, and that's one thing that we noticed here, that we realized at DETV, is like we have a platform where we have thousands of followers, right, that watch us. I'm like over like 18,000 followers. That I think we're close to like 30. but they follow us. And with that is we want to make sure like nonprofits like yourself and people capable superheroes like yourself and other people out here that's doing great things in the community, that they can use this platform to do that. Right? Because like you said, no one should be freaking hungry. Nope. No one. You know what I mean? And if we can elevate that and get that word out, I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? All right. Woo!
Not done.
We're not done. We go, wait till you, look, this next segment is sponsored by City Fest, right? Gerald, Trumpet Man, Mr. Trumpet, is it Mr. Trumpet? Yeah. Mr. Trumpet, Chavis is in the building.
Was that a trumpet?
I don't know.
That was a
Jamaican
air horn. Yeah, it was
a
combination of a lot of things, sorry.
You play, all right.
We'll leave the trumpet there.
Gerald Chavis coming up next on Good Morning Wilmington.
The Delaware Mortgage Relief Program is still accepting applications. Funding is limited. Apply today. This grant program provides up to $50,000 to qualified Delaware families for eligible housing-related expenses, such as future or delinquent mortgage payments, property taxes, homeowners association fees, or water or sewage fees. Over $20 million has already been dispersed statewide. The Delaware Mortgage Relief Program. Visit online or call 888-303-4324 for more information.
A new beginning, a second chance. Call it what you want, but this is what never giving up looks like. This is what finding someone who believes in you looks like. I thought Goodwill was just a store until a friend told me about Train to Gain through Goodwill's Job Resource Center. After 5 years away, I had a lot of self-doubt and fear about my future, but Goodwill had my back, and today, I love where I work. They matched me with an employer who believes in second chances, and now I have a new start thanks to Goodwill.
To learn more about Goodwill's career development opportunities, call today.
Still searching for cheap gas prices? Dump the pump and ride DART. You can DART to your destination for only $4 all day. Let DART do the driving while you enjoy our free Wi-Fi available on all buses statewide. While scrolling through your favorite apps, don't forget to download DART's free transit app for real-time bus information and enjoy the convenience of contactless fare payment through DART Pass. So what are you waiting for? Dump the pump and try transit. Visit dartfirststate.com or call 1-800-652-DART.
You know the why for state-of-the-art fitness centers and amazing pools.
But we're so much more.
The why is where Delawareans improve their health.
Where our communities get stronger.
Where everyone belongs.
It's where we battle chronic disease.
Where cancer survivors restore their mind and body.
And weight loss goals become lifelong habits.
We are the why.
Good for you and good for the community.
No, behind the scenes is funny, man.
It's insane. Welcome back to Good Morning Wilmington. It's your main man, Big Ive, and
Radio Shack.
Oh my God, it is wonderful around here, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Good energy on a Wednesday.
Yeah, on a Wednesday. So if you're looking for, if you mention the word jazz on this side of the Mason-Dixon, you have no other choice but to just think of Gerald Chavis, master trumpeter. And we're not talking about politics.
Or anything else.
Right. You have to, this man is amazing and just plays the trumpet with such grace and elegance. Gerald Chavis is on the plaza. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing fine, brother. How you doing?
I'm well. Fix his mic for him.
Yeah. While I'm doing that, so did I make it? Did I make the cut?
Oh, yeah. I just want to inform you, Shaq. You know, we love you, but you didn't make the audition. Can't be in the band this time, but keep practicing.
Okay.
You can be the piccolo player.
So my bam. All right, that's all right. And shout out to the Battle of the Bands, because we had those great bands this week with HBCU week. So that leads right into this, right? Good energy, good vibrations right here in the plaza. While he's cracking up, please let the people know what we have going on this evening.
Well, today at 6:30 at 1500 Walnut Street, there's a new amphitheater there, that beautiful facility.
Yeah.
And the Clifford Brown Festival Orchestra will be in concert from 6:30 until we get done. We're featuring vocalist Ray Jones Avery.
Ooh, that's right. I did see that flyer.
Yeah. So it's on and popping. It's a free concert sponsored by City Fest. And the festival orchestra consists of professionals top professionals from this area. We perform individually everywhere.
Right.
Anywhere in the world, you can see us, somebody everywhere.
Right.
But we all live in this area,
Yeah.
so we come together to
put on a good show.
Yeah, to present
And the shows be
and
jumping.
have a good time. It's great performers, great musicians, but greater human beings. We enjoy being around each other. It's great chemistry, very positive, and then nurturing, encouraging.
Yeah.
So speaking of, you have these great musicians that live in this area, right? Travel all over the world. Can you talk about this area specifically and the impact that jazz has had? Speaking of Clifford Brown, right?
Okay.
Speak of jazz and Wilmington, Delaware, please.
Okay. Well, I came up in the 60s playing R&B, and I didn't have any understanding until I left Wilmington of what an impact Wilmington and the Philadelphia area, greater Philadelphia area, has had on jazz. You've got masters like John Coltrane, who's from Philly, Benny Golson, Philly, Stanley Clark. It's a plethora of musicians from this area. Top of the list in my book is Clifford Brown from Wilmington, Delaware.
Wilmington,
At the age, I think, of 18 or 19, he was on the international scene, working with, from my understanding, I was only 1 year old at the time, but Dizzy Gillespie or Charlie Parker was playing here in Wilmington at 10th and King Streets, and locals got Brownie to sit in with them, and that was it. And he was, I think, in high school at the time.
Yeah. So can you imagine being like that young, right? And you're playing with Dizzy Gillespie,
Yeah.
Who did you ever sit in with? You know what I mean?
Oh,
that blew your mind.
Well, like I said, I came up R&B, so I used to back up the Dells, the Temptations, Four Tops, the Spinners, Mick Jagger, that kind of. But on the jazz scene, I didn't have any major, like I didn't work with Miles Davis or anything on the jazz scene as a trumpeter. But as a band leader, I've worked with many performers. Ernie Watts, being from Wilmington, and a Grammy Award winner, and others. So I didn't start playing jazz until I was in my 20s.
Okay, and that's where you stayed ever since?
Yeah.
What is it about jazz that did it for you?
It's the individual path. It's different for everybody. It's about self-awareness and self-enlightenment, and execution, clarity of thought. It's a lot of things that goes into it that differentiates the players from, say, someone who just, and I'm not minimizing, but just reads music.
Understood.
Yeah. The readers play what is written. The jazz players create. Period.
Got it.
Damn.
So,
if I did put that on a shirt, Shaq.
Going back to, so you're having your event this evening, right?
Yes.
Jazz.
Yep.
Next Saturday, we're having the All HipHop Cultural Summit.
Yep.
Right? How do you see how jazz has influenced hip-hop, right? Two-part question. How has jazz influenced hip-hop? And for these young kids that only know hip-hop, if you could tell them one artist or song to go listen to make them introduce them to jazz, what would that?
That's a good one.
What would that be?
That's a good one, bro.
Oh, you should have given me that question.
It's to the left with that.
Let me
make it that one then. So let's make that one. Yeah.
But,
so if you were going to give a young person now who only listens to hip hop and R&B, has never listened, because you said you didn't get into it till you were 20, right? What is an artist or a project that you'd have them listen to as an introduction?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's major.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna answer the first part of that first. When you asked about hip hop, the relationship between jazz and hip hop, both were bastards. Bastard music.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that,
Explain what bastard music was back then.
Yeah. Legitimate music, which I really hate that term.
Right.
But legitimate music was basically European classical. And then rock and roll and R&B came along. Rock and roll, they were like, oh, it's hard. Rock and roll was a bastard music. R&B was, because everything before that was, very...
Cookie cutter.
Cookie cutter, exactly. As far as what was acceptable to society.
To society, right.
A lot of hip-hop, rap and hip-hop, same thing. There was a lot of disparaging remarks early on. People, it's not music, it's not this, it's not that. But it is what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
It is what it is. And the success and longevity of it proves that it's a viable art form,
Yeah.
Like jazz, like R&B, like rock and roll. So all of those, I call them bastard forms of music. That's how they were. Now they're mainstream.
Oh, yeah. Hip hop is the largest.
So what song would you give them?
Or
Oh my
artist,
gosh.
not just a song. It could be an artist or a project.
That's
Just
true.
something
Artist. I would encourage them to listen to, it's so many things, artists that run through my mind. Listen to Miles Davis. From early Miles, a lot of people don't know what he was into early. Miles ran the gamut from bebop to rap. So listen to what he, that would be the artist I would pick, because he changed the direction of music in this country a couple of times.
Because he played a lot over in Paris, right?
Oh, he was, worldwide.
In the UK, yeah.
Yeah, European. In fact, jazz was always more accepted
Over there.
Anywhere but the United States.
But the United States, because we were still back into the,
you used to call it race music and all of that.
Yeah.
So, it was anywhere, it was, I find, that's when I left Wilmington as an R&B player.
Right.
That's when I realized the legacy of Wilmington has in jazz, because that's when I heard Clifford Brown.
Okay.
Started really listening to Coltrane, Miles, Cannonball Adderley, so many, tons of music. That's all I used to do, being a musician.
Yeah.
It's To get the gamut, going back, I would say Miles, he started off with Charlie Parker.
Right.
In the bebop idiom, and he would make the gigs that Dizzy Gillespie couldn't make with Charlie Parker.
Right.
Went through the R&B thing. He was collaborating with Hendrix, Prince,
right.
As a jazz artist.
Yeah.
And then coming into modern day, the thing I would encourage young people to do is to keep an open mind and open ears.
Yeah, because when you listen to music, right? Like I remember Stetsasonic, right? And I think that was probably one of the first groups that I remember that incorporated jazz. Remember that song, talking all that jazz?
Yep.
And go ahead.
I remember Guru and Jazzmatazz.
Jazzmatazz, the good one.
Guru
yes.
and Jazzmatazz.
Yeah. Did you ever hear that?
No.
Man, we might have to play that before you leave.
Okay, yeah. I may have heard it. I'm terrible with names.
Yeah.
And I think I have a couple years on both of you. So.
Just a little bit.
Couple.
What they say? How they say it in Spanish? No, that was gonna say
Yeah,
memento.
because you got in trouble for the rice and beans one the last
I
time.
heard I got 8 for that, bro. Pause. Yeah.
So, man, you got to stay on track with this guy.
Right. But no, let's get back. Okay, tonight we got to wrap it up. Tonight at the City Fest is having at the amphitheater the Clifford Brown Jazz Orchestra.
Yes.
Boom. All right.
Boom.
Tonight, make sure you check it out. September 27th, starting at 6:30 p.m. Make sure you get there and wear a coat. Make sure you wear a coat because it might be a little nippy out.
I heard the sun.
It's
we're
nice,
gonna chase the clouds away. It's
I know,
gonna be
with the
about
music.
68 and sunny.
I'm with that.
Good energy.
And that is a beautiful amphitheater down there.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
No, I need to.
Okay, we need to go down there, man. We might need to do a show
I
there.
did see Ms. Tina Betts the
Yeah.
other day. Yeah. So.
I love it. I love it. So, all right. Where can people go to City Fest? Throw the flyer up one more time, Dennis. I want to make sure they got the flyer. The flyer, you can go to cityfestwilm, WILM.com for more information about it. And it's the UAE Amphitheater Music Series, Clifford Brown Festival Orchestra, conducted by Mr. Gerald Mr. Trumpet Chavis.
Smooth up there.
Smooth. Look at him. Look at him. He looked back at him.
Man.
Pause.
And let's not forget, next Saturday,
at October 7th, at the Delaware Art Museum,
is the All HipHop Cultural Summit.
Yeah.
Hosted by yours truly. I will be in the building.
You're doing a lot of hosting, bro.
I'm just out
I
here
saw your itinerary. But wait, before we get to that, Mr. Chavis, thank you so much for coming, brother. God bless you, brother. Feel free to stop by anytime. The next time, how do you say to the cameraman? Bring your camera, bring your trumpet.
Yeah, I'm gonna come try it again too, man. I'm gonna work on my craft.
Come on.
I need to ride again. All right, let's keep it going.
Yo.
Yeah, man. So we definitely got a lot going on.
All right. And we got the 5K walk with the Claymont Community Center. Make sure that you go that's this Saturday, September 30th. Register at c35k.com. Make sure you go out there. It is a fundraiser. They're going to have a lot of activities, a lot of things going on there. So make sure you check that out. And I think that's it. That's it for today.
Yeah.
So you got anything?
So we rocking.
Mr. Host? We host with the most?
Just trying to work out here. So once again, thank you for the platform.
Come on, no, thank you, man. That's cool.
HBCU week, yo, you know what? Because we always shout out Dopra. I call Ashley Dopra, right? Dopra. So we'll shout out Dopra, but just shout out to the rest of the whole HBCU week team, right? All those people behind the scenes, the Blake, the Clints, the
Brandon,
the Brandons, the Rons, the Tannies, the Ambers, the Chelseas, the everybody, the Tiffany, right? Don't forget Tiffany.
Yeah.
Whitney, everybody else that makes that whole thing happen, because to see
amazing event.
That much take place in 1 week, and to see how many people, since we were just talking about music, to see how many people came out in the rain on Sunday
was insane.
To the Battle of the Bands, and they didn't just come out; they came out with some amazing energy.
Yeah.
It takes a whole team of people to make that happen. So thank you once again for having me.
And I gotta before we close out. Hey Dennis, you got any footage on what happened last Friday here at DETV?
Oh
we
can't forget about that. Stephen A. was in the building, and you know what? They was giving him fever because he had just thrown out that first pitch.
That crazy pitch, like he threw with his
That's not
left
crazy.
hand.
I don't know what he was doing. You're not supposed to do that at Yankee Stadium.
No,
that's a problem in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Right?
But does he have footage of that?
Let's see that, because that man was right here.
Okay, no, he doesn't have footage of it. But anyway, I'll post it up. So, yeah, Stephen A. Smith, we had the opportunity to film ESPN First Take. Stephen A. Smith is the executive producer of it, and he came in. It was crazy just to sit here and watch, like, yo.
Live.
Okay, because I'm going to go back from the basement
to this.
To, like, oh, my God, yo, that's Stephen A. Smith. And looking at the live broadcast on ESPN, like, yo, that's
right
us.
here in the plaza.
Yeah, they right next door.
In the plaza.
In the plaza, man.
And while you were doing that, I was holding down the college fair.
Yeah.
DETV,
the live joint.
So
the live stream.
Check that. Speaking of parents, Sally Mae, they had big $200,000 checks. Just a whole lot of great energy.
Barclays gave $300,000 to HBCUE. Make sure if you want, we're going to tag. We're going to make sure we put your live broadcast.
Yes.
And the description so you can check that out, because that was crazy.
And just for anyone who wants to follow me personally, it's Radio Shack. RADIOSHACH. Radio Shack on all social media platforms. Man.
That's it.
We out here working.
We got no more for y'all.
That's it,
all right,
man.
DETV.
See you
Radio
when we
Shack.
see you.
Gerald Chavis, Mr. Trumpet. Boom, boom.